Facebook follower, I joined a page that looked interesting. A few days later I received a message from a man who started following me on Facebook and Instagram. He was the admin of the page. He looked familiar. I dismissed it as average old white guy with a beer gut. I took no immediate action. But he and his son started commenting on my feed. The page had a gothic theme. But as time went on, the memes were replaced more and more often by photos of young people in gothic dress. The posts inundated my feed. I was missing posts from family, so after parking outside of one of my workplaces, one day, I unfollowed the page. I deleted this page admin from my Instagram. I disabled Instagram. I do that off and on when it becomes redundant. No worries, right? Some guy, someplace, won't notice. No problem, blocking him did not work in the way I expected. I went to work. I went out to the front of the area. I see hundred of people in a day. But this guy came running into the door of the business holding his phone. He was running. He stopped 6 feet from me. He looked at the phone. He looked back at me. He ran out the door. The page admin was stalking me. Let's not meet again, Marine. Let's not meet again. Don't hire people off Facebook classifieds. We moved into a house in the country about 4 months ago. Since we'd previously lived in an apartment, that means we needed to buy a lawnmower. Instead of putting out $200+ on a lawnmower when we have to move in a few years, we decided to hire somebody to cut our grass. Initially we went with a guy that my fiancé used to work with, but $65 every 2 weeks starts to add up and I was looking for something cheaper. That brings me to Charles. Charles posted in my Facebook classified that he was looking for some lawns to cut this weekend and he had a reputable company. So I sent him a message. Initially, Charles came off as nice. He asked for my address so he could stop by and give me an estimate. After stopping by my house he sent me a message saying, "Damn sweetheart, you got a big porch." It made me kinda uncomfortable, but figured I was overreacting and started planning when he could come out. I told him my off days, but he assured me I didn't have to be home. I told him to come Wednesday. Wednesday morning he messaged me, "Are you home?" I said no. 3 hours later, "Are you home yet?" I told him no, I won't be home till after 8. Charles then informed me his tire had a flat, and he could come tomorrow, Thursday. First thing in the morning he messaged me, "Will you be home today?" I told him no. He messages back a few hours later, "Hey, are you home?" I said no, I told you I wouldn't be home all day. Are you still coming out? He then told me his truck broke down. He was sending messages like, "Please don't be upset with me, sweetheart." At this point I was getting really creeped out. I told him just come tomorrow. Friday, it's actually my off day, but I woke up and left the house for the day. He messages me, "Hey, I'm coming. You're off today, right?" I said yes, but I'm not home. "When will you be home?" "I don't know." He messaged me later saying, "Sorry babes, L was loading the equipment onto my truck and it fell and broke. Maybe I can come tomorrow." At this point I was really creeped out and I told him never mind, I'm gonna find somebody else. Saturday, I get off work around 4 or 5 and check my phone and find multiple messages from him saying that he had cut my grass and I need to come home and give him the money. I told him no, I'll cash app it to you. He started getting really irate and saying that I need to give him the money now. I told him I would give them the money after I got home and thought the grass was cut. I was honestly really worried he would be waiting at my house, so I got a friend to drive home behind me. He wasn't there. I sent him the money and I thought that was the end of it. Fast forward to 2 months later. I'm on the phone my fiancé as I drive to class and he tells me he has to get off the phone because there's somebody walking down our driveway. I asked what he meant, and he said there was a man walking around in our driveway and front yard. After I got to class he texted me telling me it was just a man who had come by to promote his lawn care business. I didn't think anything about it as it had been 2 months, but later that night I got home and saw a business card laying on my counter with the name of the man who had been messaging me earlier. I called my fiancé Mike at work and asked how the guy had been acting. He said Charles seemed genuinely surprised that a man had come out, and asked if he lived alone. I asked Mike if the man had stopped at any other houses, and he replied, "Now that I think about it, no." After he left our house, he just left. Mike said he had seemed really desperate to help around the house and offered to cut the lawn, fix our porch, remove any trash or scrap metal we had around the house, and then asked if we had pests such as bats in our attic or anything. That especially freaked me out, as we do have a bat problem and I had previously posted about it on Facebook. Mike then said what was really weird is Charles was very freaked out about the dog. He heard Max barking from inside and started asking a lot of questions like, is he big? Does he stay outside or inside? Does he ever go outside, or is he stay inside completely? How big is he? Is he nice? Mike chalked it up to him being scared of dogs. He gave him a brief tour of the outside of the house, and then Charles got in his truck and left. I then told Mike that this was the same guy who had been messaging me earlier in the year, and Mike began to freak out. He said that Charles had asked a lot of really specific questions about who all lived here, how long they'd lived here, and where they were at the time. He said he tried to brush them off, but Charles seemed really insistent to know if Mike was the only one in the house before he left. Mike specifically asked him if he had cut the lawn here before or something, and maybe was thinking of the last owners, but Charles told him, "No, I just happened to be out this way and thought I'd promote my business, the neighborhood." The worst part, I had taken my fiancé's car to work that day, which means my car was in the driveway when Charles stopped by. He thought I was home alone. I didn't contact the police because I thought I might be overreacting. This all happened 2 days ago, and I really hope that we never meet again. Anonymous person harassing me for 6 months so far over Facebook and Blogger. So at the starting of this year, I, 34F, was happily living my life when I get this odd Facebook request, a girl I didn't recognize at all. I went to the profile and noticed we had like 70 friends in common, but I also noticed these were friends that would not be common to anybody, different countries, cities, social circles, so I knew something was up. I also noticed that the profile had been created in 2012, but nothing had been posted since then. So I messaged the person, "Hi, I don't remember you, where did we meet?" No answer for like 2 weeks. At the time I was feeling really distracted by FB and unsettled by this friend request, so I closed my FB. Around a week later I get texts on my phone telling me to be careful, that somebody was speaking badly about me. The next day a friend calls me up to let me know this girl had posted a picture of me, saying I was a slut, an old alcoholic bitch who had STDs, and that I had slept with her boyfriend. That I would sleep with anybody for a bottle of beer. A bunch of my friends were commenting defending me. She replied calling me abusive, saying I never graduated uni, and the usual slut/bitch insults. She replies to my message, although my account is closed, Messenger is still active, calling me a bitch. I also get a message from another account telling me something very bad would happen, and that people were talking shit about me. I proceed to block and report her and this other account. Many of my friends reported her profile and post, however it was not removed. Instead she closes it on her own, I think because several people started commenting negatively on her post. Time passes, no sign of her, my FB is still closed and I am happy. 1 month ago, she opens the account again, the picture and comments still there, starts sending requests to friends of my friends. I am again alerted about this. I report to Facebook. Post stayed up for 3 days. Some of my friends message her, she replies telling them I slept with her boyfriend, sometimes her husband, and that I was a bitch with STDs. A few days later I get a message from a third account, with fake screenshots of chats she supposedly had with my friends. The message also says she is threatening to go to my house and hit me. More friends alert me, she is sending them messages asking for information about me, with the usual bitch/slut insults and the story about her husband/boyfriend. By this point she has amassed 3,000 plus friends. Additionally, she lets them know she will be creating a blog about me showing sexual pictures and videos of me, which I don't have. Sure enough, a couple of days ago she creates the blog, showing any picture of me she could find, the screenshots of fake chats with friends, naming random bars where I can be found drinking and easily fucked, and enlisting rock bands I slept with. She floods all FB groups, pages, and events in my small city with the link to this blog and the usual insults about me. She also sends the link as a message to every account she can, I imagine. I guess that after a bunch of people reported the account, it was closed. However, the two others continue posting the blog link everywhere they can. I also received texts asking me to kill myself and letting me know this is not even the beginning. I have no idea how to make this stop and am somewhat afraid this person moves from the online world to the real world. I have no idea who this is. The behavior she describes is fake and doesn't really make sense. At this point, I just hope he or she gets into an accident that doesn't allow her or him to move for months, and I hope to never meet her or him again, be it in real life or in virtual life. Dear anonymous stalker, may we never meet again in any way.